Hey Marian, lovely to see you. I'm really happy to get an opportunity to chat to you to learn a little bit more about your experience on the course. And hopefully we'll be able to get some insight into the way that you've been approaching some of the projects here on the course. So first of all, maybe let's start off by understanding a little bit more about you. So could you just let me know what your background is and how you started off here at Boolean?
Yeah, so I originally trained as a maths teacher.
Amazing.
And I decided that that actually wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of like, what am I going to do? I have a couple of friends who are in coding, and they said how much they loved it and how much that I would love it, because it's just basically problem solving all day. So I was like, that sounds exactly like me.
Yep.
So so I sort of like looked around for courses, found Boolean, and just thought it was like great. Just like it was like a slightly longer course, really great price, and everybody that I spoke to there just seemed really friendly. So I was just like, okay, Boolean is the course for me.
So give me a little bit more information about where you are at the moment in the course. The course is 6 months. Where are you right now?
We're really near the end. We've got just a few more weeks. So currently what we're doing at the moment is the team development module, which is...
What's that about? Tell me a little bit about this module. Yeah.
So everybody on the cohort works on one particular code base.
Yeah.
So we are all contributing. We're sort of split into 3 teams, like working on like individual parts, but we're all contributing to the same code base, sort of like trying to create an app. So we're doing like... we're simulating how you would actually work in a proper environment.
Yep. So let's look at this project. This project is during your React module, and what maybe would be a great place to start is what were the requirements for this project? Do you remember some of the context before you started work, before it looked like this lovely application? What were the original requirements?
So what we had to think about was like how we were going to set up this this sort of like top part here. Nothing was rendered, so we had to like recreate everything here. The sort of high level stuff was done for us already, but but we had to like render these
items.
These the fruits and vegetables that you see here. This hadn't been made yet, so we had to make this and then like add the functionalities. So we can add and take away items from the cart on these add and minus buttons here, and then we also needed to, when we take that away, that disappears.
Amazing.
The good thing about Boolean is that the work that they give is differentiated. So that means that like if you sort of complete all the main tasks that you're supposed to do, you can go on and do like further things. So like for instance, you've got this purchase thing here. You can go into stock, and it makes another page where you can add to stock, and then also you can click on this and have a bit of information here.
First of all, great job. Secondly, you're welcome. Secondly, I'd like to get a sense of maybe let's look at some code and see how you approach this task.
Absolutely.
So I know this is probably trying to roll back some of the weeks and go back to the original set of requirements. But maybe can you explain to me when you saw those original sort of core main requirements, what was your approach in trying to think through this and problem solve your way through this exercise?
So the first things that I think I kind of thought about was firstly like some maybe higher level stuff. So first of all was like how I'm going to actually render these and where I'm going to like access the data from. There's a state hook in React that will store sort of like information in that, maybe information that needs to sort of change as you sort of change. For instance, if you add to cart, the state of the cart has changed. So those kind of things that I kind of thought about. I only thought about the sort of like core requirements at first, so I didn't sort of think about all of the extra stuff as well when I was thinking about that. So that's what I thought about first.
Can you explain to me that process? So you're getting cart items from somewhere. Can you show me where that is?
So the state is stored here. So we've got cart items being used here, or being stored in this information here. So
and it looks like you're using some initial state there, just an empty array.
Just an empty array,
to
because
resemble...
it is going to be populated later when...
but everyone's cart starts off empty, right?
Everyone's cart starts off empty,
sadly,
exactly.
You pass in that data into the component.
Through it, so it is. So yeah, that's the props as passed down, and then if we go to cart, you can see at the top when you sort of make the actual component, you can see we've got props here, and then props.cart item. You can actually destructure that props, but I didn't do it in this case. So you can access the sort of information that you need from the previous. Well, from the state. Yeah,
like React stores all that data in an object that we can access via props.
Yes.
So all the skills that you've got so far on this course, do you think they prepared you for what you want to go into in a career in education tech?
Yeah, like absolutely. I've learned so much about coding, about industry, my tech stack. Like even every day is being built upon. And not only that, I feel like I now am more equipped to learn how to learn new things. So like we've been using a lot of documentation. Our back-end module was sort of a bit more, some of it was self-led. So those are the skills, that I can sort of bring forward.
What advice would Marian Phillips give to someone who's going to start our next cohort? Maybe let's get to the top tips. And maybe think about the approach or the mindset, or sort of some habits to do, or just some general off-the-cuff remarks about what you think would be good advice for someone just about to start the course here.
You need to know you want to do it. You also need to make sure that you do take time out for yourself, because it's a marathon, not a sprint. It is... I'd also say if you are thinking about doing it, just like have a little look at some free online like HTML, CSS, some JavaScript stuff, just like a little bit. Don't have to do lots because they do go through it thoroughly. But it's also good just to have like a little bit of
a sense.
A sense of like what you're going to be thrown into.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy this experience?
It's like, of course. Like, okay, so there are days when you don't understand what's happening. You're screaming at your computer, and I'm like, I am. And on those days, I might have been, or even then, I would still be like a 7. But quite a lot of the time, it has been 10. And I know that it's like, people will think that I have been made to say that. I have not. I just have genuinely loved this course. You know, when you sort of, you make a decision and you realise this was the right decision. And that's what Boolean has felt like.
Amazing. Thank you, Marian, for spending some time talking to me, going through your project with me, and giving me a little bit more of an insight about your experience through the course. It's been great to chat.
Thank you.
Awesome.